In Athens, Greece, Byzantine churches with their domes and icons are a familiar part of life. The stylized figures of late Byzantine painting date back to at least the 14th or 15th century. Artist George Kordis is considered a Byzantine master, bringing the style into contemporary times.
I paint in churches and secular paintings, and I teach Byzantine painting all around the world. I was engaged in this style of painting when I was a student in the School of Theology in Athens University, just 40 years back. I don't exactly know why I was attracted, but I was just attracted. So I dedicated many years to study this art, this painting system, and it's a very specific system, very different from anything else.
George uses an ancient technique. His luminous colors are created with egg tempera paint, still mixed by hand.
Actually, we use the yolk of the egg and just a bit of the white of the egg. We add some essential oil on that and white wine or vinegar.
George paints icons, but he also makes art about Greek myths and other more psychological themes. It made him the perfect choice when Stockton University decided to commission a mural for their Hellenic reading room. It's dedicated to a founding member of the Stockton faculty.
This is the Demetrios J. Constantelos Hellenic collection and reading room. As he was getting older, he had talked about where is he going to give his collection of books, and we certainly thought we need to bring them to Stockton. Professor Constantelos' vision was not simply just religion. Although he was a priest, he had this much kind of larger view of Hellenism from antiquity, the pre-Christian experience, all the way to modern times.
This encompassing vision of Hellenic or Greek studies is reflected in the mural by George Kordis. Water flows from Mount Olympus, becoming a river connecting ancient and modern Greece. On the left are Socrates, his student Plato, and Hypatia, the first known female mathematician and philosopher. Next is Plotinus.
Professor Constantelos thought Plotinus' Neoplatonism was a linchpin for connecting the ancient Greek world to the Christian theology.
There's St. Basil, an important father of the early Christian church. And there's a female historian.
She's a princess, a Komnenian princess, Anna Komnenos, because she is really a classic Byzantine source. We thought this would be perfect.
The modern era is represented by the legendary Greek soprano, Maria Callas. And by C.P. Cavafy, the early 20th century poet who drew on ancient Greek imagery and whose fame continues to grow. The mural is the focal point in the reading room, where students can often be found working.
I teach a class on archaeology of the ancient world and ancient Mediterranean, actually. And so this is a perfect space where students are surrounded by books and interesting objects and, vases, and they absolutely love this space.
Professor Constantelos helped create Stockton's acclaimed program in Greek culture, language, and history. He was also a priest, deeply involved in the South Jersey Greek Orthodox community. The church is central to an understanding of contemporary Greece and to Byzantine art.
The Greek Orthodox Church carries the tradition of Byzantium, if you will.
Around the world, George Kordis creates new Byzantine paintings in Orthodox churches. At this church outside of Athens, completed in 2010, George spent 2 years on the wall paintings.
What I like in this church is the light. There's a beautiful light in the church. It's a very bright church. Traditionally, there was not so much light in churches, but in this church there is a beautiful light. And actually we follow this element and we adapted our work, our style, to this element.
George uses the Byzantine artistic language, but he always keeps our contemporary reality in view. Perhaps this is what makes him a master.